this whole thing with 911, it shows the atrocities across our nation. And in this county, in Arundel County, Maryland, where there was an actual abuse of 911. But what happened in this instance is they just happened to choose the wrong one. Perhaps he has done this multiple times with other individuals, but this time the victim of that abuse of 911 happened to be a reverend, doesn't mean anything, happened to be a community leader, happened to be someone with enough intellect, and I'm proud of those others out there too that have the intellect to bring out the video cameras. If I had not recorded most of what happened, what his
Arundel County 911, do you need police, fire, or ambulance?
Police.
Where do you need the police?
Address is 1365 Mellon Road, Hanover, Maryland.
Is that a business?
Yes, Denny's.
What's going on there?
I have a customer. She's been here before. The police tried to escort her out. She made a huge scene. She's here again, and she's causing a scene. I just need her out in a trespass order against her.
What is she doing right now?
Right now, she's pretty much just giving us all a hard time, telling us that we're being recorded, causing a scene because we're charging her for some items that she doesn't want to be charged for. She called me racist earlier. We gave her one last chance last time, and now she's just going crazy again.
Okay. But she hasn't been officially banned. You want to do that today?
Correct, yes.
Okay. What race is she?
African American.
Do you know her name or?
I do actually. Oh shoot, my phone's dead. I don't have it. I have.
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh.
What is she wearing? What color shirt, pants?
Black shirt. Can't see her pants.
About how old is she?
Probably like in her 50s or 60s.
And what's your name?
Hamid, H-A-M-I-D.
And phone number?
240-793.
Oh, will you be there to meet with the officers?
Correct, yes.
All right, they're en route to be there as soon as possible.
Thank you.
So I want to know, when people haven't looked at the facts, what empowers the police chief, Chief Timothy Altamari, to impugn and question my reputation as a victim of 911 abuse, that as a victim that I would have staged it. And then the reports that are not quite accurate, his own police officers' reports are in conflict of one another. So I'm going to say that I'm in Denny for the first time since the incident with the manager calling the police to have me leave with no reason, but nothing that I had done wrong. This is my first day in the restaurant since he has been on staff. I've been here several times, and I'm being charged, I believe, for croissants, for croutons on a salad, which I've never done before, and also I think 4 or 5 cherry tomatoes on the same salad. I'm going to let them know that I'm going to be recording this confirmation. But I just want to make sure that I understand that I am in Denny's in Hanover, Maryland, and that I am told that I am to be charged. Are you charging me for those croutons and tomatoes? And I want you to know I'm recording this. I just want you to understand. Am I being charged? This is being recorded. Am I being charged for the croutons and the tomatoes? Just want to know. It's okay. I want to know if you're charging me for the croutons and tomatoes.
Well, it doesn't come on the salad.
So am I being charged for them?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, do you know how much I'm going to be charged for croutons and tomatoes?
I'm not sure.
Okay, just so you know. I just want to know.
I'm not sure, but I can let you know in 2 seconds. Okay?
Thank you, dear. Appreciate it. And also, excuse me, I ordered the French, what was it, garlic bread or something? Yeah, garlic bread, yes. Now I'm waiting for her to return, and I want to see what I'm going to be charged for croutons on a salad that I didn't ask for. I told him to keep the bacon on it. But again, just want to make sure that things are consistent and I'm not being unfairly treated. But I'm in here for the first time, and I'm going to take a picture of the salad actually and make sure that that's Denny's policy to charge a customer for tomatoes and croutons on a salad. Thank you very much. I'm not, hold on a second. I want to make sure
Here's
that,
your check.
First of all, we're going to fix this because I don't like the way you're treating me. I still haven't done anything.
Oh, that's your check. Thank you.
Excuse me. Can you come back a second?
Yeah, I'll be here
How much am I?
again.
Okay, you can be that way. 79 cents. Anyway, he didn't want to talk to me much, and he brought this check out. And the check says Caesar salad, add the chicken. I don't even know what he's doing here. But he did, that's the same manager, and he did instruct he didn't want to have a conversation because he's being recorded, but he did instruct the waitress to charge me for cherry tomatoes 79 cents. They didn't charge me for the croutons that they said they were, but I'm waiting for the garlic bread to come out. Thank you very much. I'm guessing he just didn't want to be recorded. Thank you. And I just want to note that I've been in this, we don't have any silverware here. It's okay.
What did you say, sweetie?
A what? A fork? Yes, thank you. And I just want to note for the record that I've been in here several times for many hours, been treated very, very cordially and politely by every wait staff and every manager that's come in contact with me. It's only after today coming back in here with a certain manager on duty, I believe his name is Hassan or whatever, Habib or whatever his name is, and it is not until this time coming into Denny's that I've been mistreated. Thank you very much. Of Almighty God.
How you doing today, man?
Officers, I'm turning it on. Why has this man called you guys again?
Well, apparently they
What did I
called because
do?
they said you were being disorderly and yelling and screaming.
Oh
And
my
it's an ongoing
God.
issue.
In the name of
Okay.
Almighty God, question
What's your
anyone in here. I am Reverend Marguerite Morris. I have only sat here and been courteous with my food. I have been coming here almost every day since he had an incident,
Okay.
his blamed incident, with no problems. I've been here for hours studying for the LSAT. My first time back today is while he's in here, and I've done nothing but sitting here. The manager that just was talking to you.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to put this down as a racial. I haven't done any. Did you guys see me do anything? He said I was being loud and something. What? They called the police on me. Did you see me do anything? No, I haven't said anything to anybody in here, sir. We have a problem.
What'd you say your name was, ma'am?
My name is Marguerite Morris.
Marguerite Morris?
Yes, I haven't done
Okay.
anything. And I've been in
So
here
here's what's
multiple
going
times.
on. They said that this has been an ongoing issue. Have you been in here yelling
No.
and stuff like
Oh
that?
my
Okay.
God, no.
So what they would like you to do is just pay your bill and leave. Okay?
I'm not leaving. Arrest me in the name of and I'm calling the press. That's
Okay.
a lie.
Well, that's what's going to happen.
Yes,
okay?
sir. Okay. Reports are in conflict of one another. And what the community does not know is that at the end of this event, when I had gotten in my car and moved one parking space off of the Denny's parking lot, while sitting in that car with that 10-year-old child, and while there was an unparked police car sitting next to me with an officer in it who heard what was said, I saw Mr. Mohibi drive past me in a direction that was not towards the exit of that parking lot. Yes, Hamid Mohibi drove past me in a white luxury car. I watched him. And just less than a minute or so after he passed by, I received a call on my private number. And when I saw it come up private number, I immediately hit speakerphone. And that officer sitting next to me and that 10-year-old child heard someone in a high-pitched Middle Eastern accent yelled some kind of yelp in a foreign language twice, and then they yelled crazy. Now you tell me who that call came from. You tell me who would know my number in that parking lot during that instance with a Middle Eastern man at a restaurant that abused 911, that thought it was okay to laugh at me at the register and film me being walked up by police officers, that thought it nothing to dial my number and in front of a 10-year-old child, but to call me a crazy. Anger was so infused at that time. His demand for control and his demand to abuse me had far overtook his reasoning. So his daddy sits and he defends him because people don't know what happened. And the police chief condemns me and says that I orchestrated it. So infused at that time. His demand for control and his demand to abuse me had far overtook his reasoning. So his daddy sits and he defends him because people don't know what happened. And the police chief condemns me and says that I orchestrated it when his own officer heard it. And then when I want to question why that officer, Lieutenant Gilmore, did not explicitly write it in his report, but another officer writes it in his report that he was told by Lieutenant Gilmore that someone called me a crazy. And then in the reports that are manipulated to not be true, it says an unrelated incident. How is it unrelated when we're still sitting in a parking lot on that day with a 9-car police response and this man does it? Chief Altamari is not willing to have a conversation with me as a community leader because I come representing community. And is it far-fetched to believe that he would be caught on film mocking me as I came to the microphone to ask about police accountability? Is it far from that his behavior that is why? Because I represent in this county, I represent people whose voices are unheard, that are about abuses by our police department, not our entire police department. And I always emphasize that because I don't want people to blame an entire force for the actions of a few. Just this past week, I'm going to see 7 organizations came out finally, 8 years in the making, and they sent a letter to County Executive Pittman condemning, questioning, standing in solidarity with me about the handling of the death investigation of Catherine Morris. And for the first time, that letter explicitly questions the Arundel County Police Department's handling and mishandling and manipulation and not answering questions in the death of that African-American girl 8 years ago. So yes, I stand firm. Yes, I stand on solid ground, and I represent those you don't want to hear from. I represent those that send me their videos. I represent those that you can look on our website and see their tears of pain. I represent community. I represent those you don't want to make time for because we've been in denial. But we will no longer be in denial, and we shall be heard. And if Chief Timothy Altamari does not want to sit down with a person that represents community to talk about ways we can better impact and help and have some true police reform, then maybe it's time for someone to question whether or not he's in the right job. Let this go viral. Let this go when a man abuses 911 over something as stupid as an upcharge. And accuses me of things that the video shows that I did not do. The soundtrack shows that I did not do. People in the restaurant can attest that I was not up making a scene. The child himself remembers how cruel one of the police officers spoke to me. The child remembers that. That 10-year-old child will remember that for the rest of his life. When his Aunt Reed sat there verbally abused and accused by a white police officer who didn't know her from Adam because somebody had dialed 911 that day. And that 10-year-old child will also remember how I didn't have to leave because I hadn't done anything wrong. Rosa Parks, when she sat on that bus, when she sat down in that seat, She wasn't supposed to. It was against the law. But she stood for something. So when I sat there and said I wasn't leaving because he's done this twice already to me, this is the second time he dialed 911 unnecessarily, and I said I'm not leaving unless you arrest me, I was standing up for something. Because those abuses cannot be the only ones in that restaurant. Whatever his reason, his hatred had overtaken his sensibility, and he wanted me gone. Why? Because I stood my ground, because I sat and I questioned what was happening. Not because I did anything out of order, not because I was loud, not because I threatened anyone, not because I was calling anyone names. I did not do that. I did not do that. Our state's attorney needs to examine the facts, and if she doesn't, then question her when it comes time for election. What do you mean that he didn't do anything? The man lied to 911. Get it straight, people. Mr. Hamid Mohibi lied on 2 occasions when he dialed 911. Whatever he wants to say, he lied to the operators. And that resulted in other than those police officers being where they need to be that day, they were in the parking lot of Denny's on July the 12th. Because he chose to call them. And even when they responded, 2 of them chose to exhibit bias in their response and treatment of me. They did not. They misbehaved. Now, will we hold them accountable? If you agree with me and you see the pieces of this as we pull it together, I'm supposed to be studying right now, but I needed to take the time to respond to this. I'm going to tell you to send your complaints, your concerns, verbally. Send it to all of your council people. Send it to Executive Pittman. Let him know. Let Executive Pittman know that you don't condone this behavior by Altamari. Let this world know that you don't condone a black woman being condemned because she was the victim of a 911 call, but because he happened to choose a community leader. And then, in the name of Jesus, let me grandstand right now. Do not tolerate this anymore. This speaks volumes about what's in the heart of the man leading that police force in Anne Arundel County. I am not the only one that has questioned his behavior at events. When they had a protest at the police department, when white persons had a protest in solidarity, he put out lawn chairs. Who the hell puts out lawn chairs for protesters? You didn't put it out for me and my black friends when we came by. This is what I'm talking about, people. It is not just Reverend Morris. Many of us, a diverse group of individuals, are questioning his handling and his response to things in our community. As Reverend Stephen Tillett says, do not fall for the okie dokie. There is racism in the police department itself that his own officers have gone on record and complained about. How long can we allow ourselves to be blinded by what's really been going on? And how long can he come out and be abusive of me, and belittle my name and my reputation to say that something this grievous that is documented that I did nothing, documented that I did nothing wrong, and you think it okay to bash her. Thank you, and this is Reverend Marguerite Morris. I know I've been loud and I've been vocal, but the truth needs to be known, and we need to say we're not going to tolerate this in any county, in any state, across this nation, anywhere. This is what police reform should look like, calling into question his response and why he feels empowered to do this, and why Denny's. Thank you very much, and have a. This has been deeply troubling and emotionally devastating. And with that, I'll say, let's our voices be heard. Stand in unity, stand in solidarity. And I thank those that have already stood in solidarity with me over these issues. Thank you, and God bless you.
Food from another place in a restaurant. I told you when you got here you couldn't do that. You agreed.
Hello, Tanner on the county, please.
1365 Mellon Road, Hanover, Maryland. I have a lady here who won't leave, and there's trying to solicitate my guests and sell donuts to them.
1365 Mellon Road.
Correct.
Is this Denny's?
Yes.
And what is she doing?
She's soliciting donuts in my restaurant. She's going around to my customers trying to sell donuts from Krispy Kreme.
What is your name?
Hamid, Hamid.
Last name?
Mohebbi.
Your phone number?
240-793.
White, black, Asian, Hispanic?
Black.
What is she wearing?
She's sitting down right now.
Where is she sitting?
In the restaurant, right when you walk in, like a black and white top. That's all I can see.
Long time get freaky. It's like everybody else.
She got this.
She found a guy after hour. Yeah, she found a guy now. Okay.
Yeah.
And what's your phone number, sir?
240-793.
We'll have somebody out to you.
Can't eat it, sir. If you're not going to pay for it, you can't eat it.
Bye-bye.
I'm sorry?
They'll be out, sir.
Okay, then.
Bye-bye.
3.